Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Indah Elvira. I'm from 44 Popular Literature class and I want to discuss about the novel by Holly Black. The novel that I want to discuss is about a fantasy novel called The Cruel Prince novel. Before I begin to explain the contents of the novel, I will explain briefly about the background of the author and her novel. Holly Black is the best-selling contemporary fantasy novel writer for teens and children. She was born on November 10, 1971 in New Jersey. She also grew up there. Holly Black likes to read and write from an early age. Her first book, titled A Modern Fairy Tales, was published in 2002. Holly Black is also known as an American writer and editor known for the Spiderwick Chronicles, a series of children's fantasy books that she created with writer and illustrator Tony Lizzie. And the trilogy, the young adult novel, is officially called the Modern Fairy Tales Trilogy. The Cruel Prince was released in early 2018 by Holly Black. In this novel, has a main role named Jude, a human girl who lives in a fairy world. She tried to fit in and become famous in the world of fairies, but her stubbornness and determination made her stand out among the royal family, where she aspired to become a knight. Jude has a twin sister, Taryn, and an older sister named Vivian. Vivian and Jude have a rebel attitude and try their best to get what they want regardless of the situation, while Taryn prefers to love people. This book has a very dramatic story because Jude's parents were killed by King Madoc, who was their father. Then the three girls were brought from the mortal world to the world of fairy. While in the fairy world, Jude had many enemies from royal family in a new place, who set the stage for important chapters, so there were rarely boring moments throughout the book. Most of the characters are male and have their own rebel personalities, but with so many groups conspiring with different goals, it is difficult to know exactly where Jude fell and what her plans were. However, the mystery of the end result is fun to read. It was an interesting addition to the plot that Jude felt early in the book, which didn't get better for the time being. She must work very hard with minimal support to come out on top. It doesn't feel like a basic hero always wins scenario. This book was written from the perspective of Jude, so it is neat to be able to understand his motivation to continually fight with the royal family and what his experiences were when she was misunderstood and underestimated by his family. Holly Black spent most of her life searching for fairies' life. From childhood, she loved the stories that covered the world of fairies. After she struggled to write a novel about fairies, she released the Cruel Prince novel in 2018, and until now her novel has sold more than 2 million books. She released this novel in 2018, which is a modern year, and the novel that she made certainly follows the current trends. It can be seen that the cover of the novel is very modern, starting from the color of the book and the letters. But unfortunately, this novel has not yet come up with stories through the film. In this story, the most prominent character is Jude. She worked very hard to fight the kings in the fairy world. Jude is an unusual female hero who struggles to gain power because she is practically a new person in the world of fairies. And female characters like Jude are rarely seen in literature. She felt out of place with other fairy people because she was looked down on, and the other reasons, lack of strength and inheritance. Jude had started with a difficult start. She doesn't match her friends and the other fairy people. She doesn't have the same abilities as they do, and is treated as an inferior toy by other fairies. She not only needs to learn to adapt to their endless fate and games, but she also wants to be seen as equal. With that, She always tries hard to achieve what she wants. Some people will let intimidation come to them, but Jude used fear, ridicule, and cruel treatment from Fairy as motivation to not only defend themselves against them, but also to defeat them at some day. She is a girl who can think far. Jude is very cunning, resourceful, and a bit cruel too. This novel is mostly placed in the world of fairies, especially the kingdom. The choice of words from this novel is quite easy to understand, but there are some sentences that use standard language. Holly Black is indeed focused on the portrayal of the fairy world and has some pretty bad conflicts between people. Many of them even hate humans, especially Prince Cadan, who is the youngest son of the king and has an evil character in this story. The Cruel Prince story is full of royal intrigues. Even in this story has a bad character in every role, you could say almost all characters have personal interests and will not hesitate to betray anyone. Jude plays the main role as the protagonist, whose differences are very prominent from other female figures in today's fantasy genre. Jude is an unusual female hero who struggles to reach power because she is practically a new person in the fairy world. She has a strong character and asserts herself to achieve her desires, no matter how cruel she has done. She also has the nature of loving and caring for others, but she is still not afraid to plan what she wants. Jude also plays the main role as the protagonist, whose differences are very prominent with other female figures. The next role is Prince Cadan. He is an evil prince. Cadan is the youngest prince who is cruel, strong, and naughty, which allows him to do whatever he wants. He also has an ambitious character because he was educated by a strict family by physical abuse so as not to become a weak prince. He goes out of his way every day to make Jude's life more miserable at Fairy. The cycle of cruelty begins with the abuse of Cadan Prince. Jude was eager to oppose Cadan and other enemies who looked down on his mortality and soon found himself trapped in a dangerous court. The next most frequent role is Prince Balakin as the oldest brother. He has a strong and ambitious character. Even to his own younger brother he has to be cruel. He was like competing with Prince Cadan to gain power in the fairy royal family. The next is King Meadow. He is very protective of his family, but is also very ambitious, cunning, and ruthless. He enjoys bloodshed and uses it to achieve his goals. In conclusion, there are many reasons why Prince in this novel have a selfish, cruel, even ambitious character. First, namely Prince Balakin as the oldest brother. He has a hard and ambitious character even to his own younger brother. He is like competing with Prince Cadan for power. Second, namely Prince Cadan as the sixth child. He also has an ambitious character because he was educated by a strict family by physical abuse so as not to become a weak prince. In addition, Prince Cadan is jealous because Jude had a beautiful face. That means she had a chance to win the crown to become a knight. Okay, maybe that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I want to say sorry if I have a mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.